Yo, 59 Gamers, what's going on? It is your boy ZVG here, and today I am joined by the homie Virgil. Say what's up, bro.
Yo, what is going on, you guys?
And today we're going to be talking about MUI Goku in Dragon Ball Legends, his playstyle, how good he is, did he deserve to be better, and so on and so forth. So before we get into it, make sure you guys do like the video and also subscribe if you are new to 59 Gaming. But without further ado, let's jump into it. So MUI released for the 40th anniversary as the headliner unit. And Virgil, since you are a big MUI fan and you made him, what do you think about him in the game right now?
I think they made him really good. I mean, normally a lot of people are concerned if he's going to be too broken or just underwhelming in general. And
Yeah.
I think they found that good in between sweet spot to where he's like, he can be very, very good.
Yeah.
But he can also, if you make one wrong play with him, he's gonna be dead in a combo. So I think there's they found a really nice in between with everything pretty much with how they made his baseline kit. There's a couple of mechanics, the auto win on the clashes is kind of cracked. And
Yeah.
then the just taking damage from not doing anything. So there's a couple crazy things, but it's not anything like game breaking. There's still a lot of units that can compete with top ranking positions and ranking spots with him. So I think they did make him pretty balanced, but top unit in the game for sure. Definitely a top 5 unit.
Yeah, and I've been kind of like, I wouldn't say hating on him. Actually, yeah, I've been hating on him, but not because he sucks. Yeah, but not because he sucks or anything. I think it's just fun to just be a part of that anti-MUI group. But I feel like as a unit, he's easily top 3 in the game. I feel like, no doubt, he's very, very powerful, insane offense, the best neutral in the game. He cannot be touched. He does free damage if you touch him. If you try to touch him, excuse me, right? And double cover changes, his green card, which was his gauge, just a strike card. He's just insanely powerful. I feel like he's really good. I feel like people have been underrating him a bit. I feel like, because I've seen a lot of people say he's mid, say he sucks. I'm just like, it's clear that you don't know how to use the unit. Like, you have to change the way you play to use MUI, because he's the most different character we've ever seen in the game. Even more different than Sign, basically, because then you can use his gauge to in a better way, essentially, because it's a better gauge, right? So
Yeah,
I feel like he does.
That versatility that he has, pretty much, like the control of the battlefield. Like, you could basically make your opponent play by your rules at any given moment. Like, if you want to play passive, if you want to be aggressive, like, your opponent doesn't know what you're going to do because of that gauge.
Yeah.
So, like, a lot of times they're expecting you to stand there, but switching it up, like how you normally play ranked, you should not always play the same way, so you can confuse the play of your opponent. And MUI does, like, slip into the mind of a lot of players, a lot of unexpected plays and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
the versatility with him is crazy.
Yeah, for sure. And speaking about his gauge and how to play with him, let's talk about I think the biggest issue with MUI that I feel like a lot of players have right now is just the playstyle that he promotes, which is just a passive playstyle, right? Because you get rewarded by not doing anything with MUI. So in that sense, he does promote a passive playstyle, as well as on his best team, with Kaioken, right? The Kaioken with MUI, one of his better setups. The both of them promote passive play. So I feel like MUI in general just promotes a passive playstyle, and I want to get your thoughts on that.
I mean, I completely agree. You could argue that there's a lot, passive playstyles is just the way a lot of people play regularly in the game. But this specifically, like you said, you get rewarded for doing nothing. So a lot of people, just like, obviously, like, maybe not the majority of players would do this, rather than, high ranking players will, learn to adapt with different plays with them. But the majority of players literally just stand there and they float around the entire game, waiting for you to make a play, for you to do something, because, like you said, it promotes that play style. You get free damage. You don't have to do anything in your game. You're taking a nice chunk of the damage off your opponent. So it's definitely a frustrating playstyle, because that having MUI on your team, they actually do the playstyle for the rest of the match. So it's not just with MUI that when they switch with the other characters, they're still playing.
Yeah, because they're so used to it, right, with MUI that they just instinctively play passive.
Just wait there. Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous actually. So yeah, it's just not you got to do what you got to do, obviously, right? But it's definitely changing the way a lot of players play, specifically because of MUI, right?
Yeah, for sure. And I do agree. I'm definitely one that hates passive play, and MUI is certainly taking it up a notch. I feel like though certain units, certain teams definitely promote the passive play, because I feel the last time we saw this was with the Saiyan meta with the MUI Goku in Super Saiyan 3. Because of the green card and the blue card, combination right there, that was a passive meta. But this, they don't need to use any cards. They just stay still, so just adds on to that passiveness.
Yeah, you just don't have to do anything.
Yeah,
all you do is just stand there. So you don't have to worry about countering because it does it for you. So yeah, I think with time though, people will learn that it's not an actually efficient play style to play like that. Yeah, you can get lucky, and PV. A lot of the passiveness promotes like perfect PVs too, because they think you're gonna be just floating there, and they'll go for an attack or whatever the case, and you actually get a lot of PVs off of it. So
yeah, for sure.
I think with time though, people will adapt to play with them more, mixed rather than solely passive, right? Because it's not going to get you anywhere if you're not attacking, right? You're going to just stand there and just do the counters to switch at the end of the day. You have to learn to, apply pressure with that unit as well.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I feel like we covered the passive playstyle topic now. This is going to be probably like a personal question. Do you think that since I know that you're a big MUI fan and you've been waiting for him for a very long time, and so have other people in the community as well, do you feel like they should have made him better in the game? As in, he's not, there is no undisputed number one unit right now. A lot of people say MUI, a lot of people say Ultra Gogeta, a lot of people say androids. But do you think that they should have made him better to the point where he was he is the definitive number one unit in the game?
Me being biased, right? Like if you have to pick your favorite character, of course, dude, I would want him to be the most broken unit in the game. Absolutely, dude. Yeah. And the funny thing is, the fact that he can be argued amongst like the top 5, top 6, whatever couple units, both ultra units, the new androids, which I believe are still the best unit right now in the game. The fact that he can be compared to those units, and I think he very well can be compared, because it's all about play, right? I'm not going to rate a unit based off of what the player can do with him rather than what he's able to do, right?
Yeah.
I'm rating him what his peak potential is, and if you really rate him based off that, I've seen players just not get touched. Like if you're not getting touched and you're doing damage and like you're playing perfect with him, he can literally be argued as best in the game. But I think they balanced him to the point where it's still hard to say also because he's boosted, right?
Yeah.
So I'm a little bit worried about his defenses. I've heard I believe in LBR the boost doesn't exist, right? And I've heard that
it doesn't exist.
I've heard that he's good in LBR, so I've heard he's decent in LBR, so I believe he'll age well, right? He's a great unit. However, I do think they made him good to the point where he's, in the discussion of top 5 units rather than this guy's broken, he might break the game, like he's the undisputed number 1, right? They've made a lot of units, arguably top. When androids dropped, they were still arguably number 1, right? They weren't the number 1 because of how broken ultras are, how crazy Cell was on release, how crazy a lot of these just regular LFs are, the full power Frieza, the Zenkai Vegeta. There's a lot of top, the top 10 is a pretty like close list, like the top 5 a little bit closer, but he does fare well with the top units in the game. I don't think he's something too much. He does promote a really weird play style, which could be really rewarding, or it could really like screw you over. But at the end of the day, I don't think he's breaking the game. I think he's fairly balanced, and I think it's just adding a layer of this. We have to adapt to this meta, right? We have to adapt to this plays. We have to adapt to these players, right?
Yeah.
I think it's good though. I think they made him really well, actually, honestly.
Yeah, I do agree. I think Piggy put it best. Like, if it's to a point where the anniversary unit can be argued to be number 1, and he's not definitively number 1, then it's good for the game. Because we don't just want constant power creep, like one over each other like that. Like, that's just not gonna be fun, right? So I do like that they did make him the way they did. He's still very good. He's still in some situations can be better than the androids. Like you said, if you don't get touched, if you master the gauge well, if you have the green cards to refill the gauge and get combos going, then yeah, he look better than the androids in certain scenarios. So I do think that they did make him really good. And yeah, he's great. He's great.
Yeah, I think it's healthy. I do think that the way, exactly like you said it, he's not the definitive number one. If it was always like that, it's just gonna go in a bad direction. The game would go in a bad direction if every single banner dropped. There would be a certain power creep rather than there being an in between every so often, right? A couple banner drops and then everyone's around the same level. Depending on the team that you're running him on, everyone's around in the same area. So all the new units, at least all the couple past banners, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, that pretty much concludes the video, huh?
Did you want to add a final 4th anniversary opinion, or?
I mean, the 4th anniversary opinion, it sucks. MUI is great, but it sucks. But MUI is great, though, but it sucks.
It's sad. It's sad a little bit. I mean,
I feel like we could save that for a video here on the channel.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true. We could definitely do
that. All right, so yeah, make sure you guys do subscribe so you guys don't miss when that video drops. We're gonna conclude the video here. MUI is great. He just promotes a toxic playstyle, but otherwise everything's Gucci with him. This is ZVG, joined by Virgil, and we'll catch you guys in the next Time That Gaming video. Peace out, and I want to love you guys.
Stay frosty, boys.